All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the market speculator, with the weekly free swing trade report. Really quickly, before we begin, let me review here the Swing Alerts Trade service. Basically, every day I put out a report either in the evening or pre-market. We go over the market analysis, we go over what sectors are hot, what stocks are hot. We go over a little bit of my watch list and my focus list, which is basically the stocks I'm looking to trade the next day. We talk about what we like about it, where the stops are going to be, where our entry levels are going to be, and then we actually trade them. So when I trade them, if they set up, I send out a trade alert during the day. So you'll get all that. And we've got a few plans here. We've got a monthly plan at 99 bucks, a quarterly plan at $67, and this annual plan at this ridiculous rate of $49 a month. Basically, you pay a lump sum of $5.99 a year. And I've talked about this before. I didn't want to do this. Kanal said give it a try, and we are trying it. I don't know how long we will continue to do this, but for now, it's $5.99 for the whole year. Otherwise, we used to go down occasionally to maybe $9.99, every once in a while $8.99, and then obviously it'd be around $1,200 a year if you were on the monthly plan. So it's a great deal here at $5.99. All right, and let's really quickly here. I've been promising you guys the analysis of my trade results. Now, I trade multiple accounts. This is the trade report account. So the alerts I send, these are the stocks I've traded here. Basically this year, 18 stocks. We've been very patient picking our spots here. And I've got a 78% win rate here, 14 wins, 4 losses. Almost 20,000 here on a $100,000 account. And actually this is better now. Within the last week, we got out of the oil trade, which we had been in for a while. That's another, I think it's around $3,000. So we've actually broke the 20% mark, and I think we're sitting at about 22,000. I need to update this here. But you can see here, the trades we've made here. Basically, if you remember the webinar we talked about in January and February, we talked about we were basically flipping 2015 on its head. It was the FANG stock social media that you wanted to be in, and you wanted to be out of commodities, completely reversed. And you can see here, this is basically what's played out here. We've made a ton of money on the commodities and a few other select trades, and pretty much stayed out of social media, although that's changing a little bit. And I've got a webinar tomorrow that you guys want to attend, and we're going to go over some new changes, some new trends that are coming up now going into the second quarter as we start to hit earnings season. Okay, enough of the review. Let's hit the weekly swing report. Now, first things first, let's look at SPY. That's always what we do to get our bias going into the week. Now, it's just a bias, and it basically sets up the way we're going to look to trade going into the week. Now, we've had this huge trend here. We pretty much nailed this bottoming formation in SPY and commodities. And now we've had the run, broke the 200-day. We've talked about this 200-day being a key level. And we're kind of at do or die spot here, right at the 9, right at the 200-day. We held up well on Friday, low volume day, actually Thursday, sorry, it was a holiday. Now this week, we're basically looking for which direction it's going to go. So I'm basically neutral right now. Usually I go into a week with a slight bias one way or another. Neutral right now. If it breaks down, I may start to look at getting short. If we break out here, I will look to get long. And I still like the fact that IWM here, and let's see if it loads here, but IWM, which is the smaller cap stocks, is starting to move really nicely. Even though it's under the 200-day, we see a nice little trend here. That's good news for the market because we want to see overall health. The IWM is more smaller cap stocks, and when we see those moving, we know it's a good market. In the last 3 weeks, especially if you're a day trader, you know this, a lot of the junk stocks have been moving. Those are the ones that have been breaking out. That's a good sign for the overall market in the sense that the small caps are starting to move. And let's take a look at gold here. We are actually short gold in the trade report, and it's pulled back nicely here. I'm looking at this gap here at 112 or 109 here as my targets, and I'm using the inverse DZZ to trade that. So we actually get to go long the inverse ETF, in essence, to short gold. Oil, always at the forefront here. We got out in a fantastic spot, and I'll use UWTI, which is a triple leverage, which is exactly what we traded. I got out at 29, and then I had a trailing stop and got out of the rest at 26 or 27. I don't remember now. I think it was 26 there. The average exit was 27 with an entry around 20. Now it's pulled back to 23.78. Doing nothing with oil right now. Everyone always asks me about oil. Nothing to play right here. Basically, if it breaks down here, I will look to short. If it pulls back up over the 9, I will look to get long again. So we're going to step back and watch. Now, commodities overall, different story. I really like the health of commodities. This was the key theme on Thursday. Where commodities look like they might give us a deeper pullback, which would still be healthy after this humongous run. And I'm looking at energy right now here. But throughout the commodity space, we had these nice recoveries where during the intraday, it looked like it was breaking down. And by the close, we got this nice pattern in here. So I actually went long on Friday 2 commodity stocks. And I'm going to show you those right now. Maybe you'll have an opportunity this week to get in, and that's FCX here, and you can see almost the same pattern. Now we rode this to the long side, made a really nice profit in here. Did a parabolic short, which we got a little bit. I got a half profit off it, then got stopped out of the rest. And now I really like this pullback recovery here, and maybe this sets it up for a big move to the upside. I'm always managing risk, and I like the fact that I can place a stop here. I've got a lot of room to the upside, yet I can manage my risk and take a small loss if I have to do that. So we entered this at the close of the day. That's FCX, which is a copper stock, and Joy, which is related to ag. And we've got a similar pattern here. This has made a huge run from 8 to 18, pulled back in here, and I like the action on Thursday. And you could basically look at just about any energy stock, copper stock, ag stock, steel stock, and you see these same patterns coming out, and you can just basically pick the one you want. I picked the more volatile ones here that have been trading really well, but you could go to just about anything. So those are the 2 trades I made on Friday. Well, Thursday, we'll see how those play out. Energy, I'm still watching very closely going into the week. And I'm going to show you 2 stocks that I'm interested in. They're not on my focus list. I have to save those for the trade report members. But stocks that I am watching very closely. Tesla here, very similar to the commodity space, recovered really nicely after this big run. We were thinking maybe it's going to pull back a little deeper here, but we got this nice move here. I know there's a news event coming out, I think this week, about a car they're going to release or something. I don't pay attention to the news too closely, but I know there's some news coming out, so we'll see how it plays out. But I'm watching Tesla, not on the focus list. It's on my watch list. The focus list is actually what I'm looking to trade the next day. Not yet, but I am watching it very closely. And then I love TiVo's breakout here on Thursday. And what I loved about it, huge volume. It's a lower float stock, really nice close. And then we can see the downtrend here. Basically broke a downtrend, got up over the 200-day moving average. Now, we'll look for an entry. We'll do that in the trade report. So these are 2 stocks that are on my list. But the stocks I'm looking to trade Monday and Tuesday, again, those are saved for trade report members. I'll be putting out that video probably pre-market tomorrow. And if you're interested in what we're looking to actually trade, you can go ahead and sign up there. Either do a month to get a feel for it and then decide if you want to do it annual or not. Or say, hey, I like what you do. I like what I've seen, and I'm going to go for the annual. So either way. So that is it for the weekly report. I will see you next Sunday with another one, and we'll recap how we did this week.